And welcome back right now, 9:13. Well, for the first time since 2016, the American Academy of Pediatrics updated its safe sleep guidelines for babies. Joining us this morning with some big takeaways is Dr. Brian Barkemeyer. He is the service line chief of neonatology at Children's Hospital. And of course, he's the section head at neonatal at LSU Health. Well, we talk about SIDS and we talk about SUIDS. So these things have similar meanings, but they're different. We've all heard about SIDS, but let's talk about the difference between SIDS and SUIDS as well.
So SIDS is the term when you actually have a full investigation to an unexplained infant death. SUID means we don't know why it happened. There was not enough investigation to figure it out. So it may be the same cause sometimes, but SUID means we have not found enough information to explain it. There's also another subset of kids who actually die because they fall into a sofa cushion or between the edge of a bed and the side of the bed and smother themselves. And asphyxiation is a cause that's separate from SIDS. But what we're talking about today are attempts to try to reduce the number of deaths from all these different causes.
So let's talk about, newborn babies or babies that, still aren't developed to the point where they can't move themselves if the reflex says, I can't breathe. As parents or as caregivers, things we need to do in terms of keeping an eye on that baby. And when we put them down, putting them down in a safe environment, in a crib, in an area that they really can't get suffocation. They can't get tangled up in blankets. So let's talk about some of those, it almost seems common sense things, but we hear of these tragic stories every year.
Sure. So the first thing should be the child should be placed on his or her back to sleep. That's been around now for 30 years, and that has saved lives by itself. That message still needs to get out to more people because not everybody adheres to that. They should be kept in the bed separate from the parents, not in the parents' bed. Many people do like this idea of co-sleeping, but it's not the safest way to sleep. So the best and the most optimal method now is to be in a separate bed from the parents, but typically in the same room. They should be on a firm, flat mattress, not pillows, not comforters, not a lot of stuffed animals. The only thing in the crib should be the baby. And that baby, if there's going to be a blanket, one of these types of Snuggie blankets is best, while swaddling an infant in the earliest months as possible is acceptable also.
Marketers do a great job of all these different things, for babies and, swaddle blankets and, wedges. When our kids were younger, we used the wedges where they would sleep in this wedge. Is that something that we shouldn't do either? Basically, flat mattress that they can't get in anything else to possibly suffocate?
Correct. Wedges were once advocated as a way to lessen the chance of spitting up and such. Anything that there should be no more than a 10-degree elevation from the surface of the bed. So the old typical wedge that elevated the bed more significantly is not useful. Snuggie blankets are good. Pacifiers are good. Breastfeeding is good. Things that are bad would be sleeping on a sofa, sleeping in a chair. If a baby falls asleep in an infant carrier or car seat, take the baby out and put the baby into the bed on his or her back to sleep safe.
Right. And, we all like to cuddle with babies, the little warm body, and they sleep. But again, you can roll over on the baby. Or, as you mentioned, if you're laying on the couch and the baby rolls off and you're sleeping and, their face could get caught between, cushions and suffocate. So even though we'd like to snuggle with them and lay with them, you're saying it's not a good idea.
Right. Holding your baby while your baby's awake and playing and feeding and all that's wonderful. But when it comes time to sleep, the baby should be put down on the bed. Holding a baby when you're awake asleep is fine, but oftentimes parenting is hard. You know that. And they tend to fall asleep sometimes when you have a chance. So a few moments of being awake with your child, all of a sudden you're sleeping also, and next thing you know, the child's in an adverse predicament trying to sleep safely, and the parents use the sleep songs.
Absolutely. Well, some great tips out there. And, again, a lot of people are off for the summertime. And, you just have to take those precautions as well, not only for parents, but caregivers or babysitters, too. These things are very important to keep those babies safe. Thanks again for your time. And, of course, safe babies. We all want them to grow up and be prosperous and do well. I appreciate the time.
Sure. Thank you.